Tales Central, and it said, oh, we're talking about all the Tales games. I was like, okay, I'll click on it. Then, bang. I was like, this is the Tales series. I learned so much about the Tales series. Tales Fantasia, Tales of Destiny 2, Tales of Eternia, blah 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 blah. And I don't even care that this video is running over because I have a lot to say about this. I wouldn't even be surprised if this was 20 minutes long. Anyway, and so I looked up stuff. I looked up pretty much everything on the Tales series. I think it was right after Cleston had closed down the website, then brought it back up. And the newest Tales game at the time, like the newest one that was being worked on, was Tales of Legendia. Learned a lot about that website. I mean, well, about that game. Website. Anyway. One thing I do remember, I kind of ignored Rebirth Flow because it looked so different from all the others. I still question if it really was Mitsumi Inumata who did the character designs or not. Because they look so different than what she normally does. I mean, granted, Tales of Hearts is also different because she uses a more shonen style than her regular stuff, but, you know, still. I mean, friggin' Tales of Rebirth was like taking it a step forward, like trying to make a friggin' yaoi thing going on. It doesn't look like that, don't worry, but, you know. And so I kind of skipped the one. Even today, even when I own the game and I've played it, it still looks weird. It still looks so different, and that's funny, kind of funny because it's my favorite game, or not really my favorite game, one of my favorite games. Taking a sip of my Coke at 2 in the morning. Anyway. And so I looked up everything, kind of looked at all the pictures, tried to take in as much as I could. And the first Tales game I played after Symphonia, after looking at all that, was Tales of the World Narukiri Dungeon 3. I don't really know why I chose that game. I guess I wanted to choose a game that had all the Tales characters so I could, you know, get used to everything. I played it, and I remember I loved it. I do remember particularly that I used Kyle a lot. He was sort of my main kind of guy. Kyle, Loney, and Mary. They were pretty. They friggin' went to town in that game. They knew what they were doing. They were like the best team ever. The best team for like fighter people. I didn't really focus on healers that much, and nowadays that's like my main concern with RPGs, like how am I going to heal myself and whatnot. It also served as prep work for Eternia because it played similar and whatnot, so that was pretty good. And you know, I played that, and I played that for a while, and I think I finished it within like, you know, a good bit. Then came the end of 6th grade, and I decided, okay, I want to get the Tales games. I want to play them. And so I chose between Tales of Destiny and Tales of Eternia. I decided to go with Eternia because it was a newer game, and the pictures that I saw, it looked better. Its graphics looked a little better. I kind of wanted a good game to choose to kind of start with. And so one day I went on Amazon, ordered the game, and wait for it. Then it came, started playing it. And it was good. I really liked it. It was fun. The graphics were good. I mean, I liked the way the game looked. Its colors were nice. And the music was okay. It felt a little sort of 16-bit, like it belonged on something on Super Nintendo. But, you know. And the voice acting, I thought, was pretty good. You know, a lot of people don't like the voice acting, but and let me just be honest, I like the voice acting. I mean, it had its moments where it wasn't perfect. Reed wasn't perfect. Farrah wasn't perfect. Keel wasn't perfect. Max was probably, in my opinion, the worst out of them all at the time because his acting was good, but they would cut him off. I didn't really understand that. Meredy was good, and I swear to God, I've heard her in a commercial for a Spanish CD. I wish I knew who it was because, you know, right now the only voice actor we know is Kevin Miller, who I think did a good job for Reed. And we can't really say he's a bad voice actor because he's improved. I don't know if you guys know this, but hopefully if you guys play the Sly games, then you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I like the voice acting. I'll admit that it's not perfect, and it has that low budget sound to it, but I think it's slightly above low budget, because the characters were cast so well. And Farrah is probably the prime example of the voice acting, because people think her voice doesn't fit. Well, if you guys think she doesn't fit, then what makes you guys think that her in Symphonia fits? Her voice is not meant to be that high. Even her Japanese voice isn't that high. Her voice is like medium. Or like medium high, I should say. But it's not like on its own high. I'm getting really, really tired of this stereotype anime girls having high voices. I'm really tired of it. She does not need to have that high of a voice. It needs to be sort of at a medium high kind of thing. Like, I think the girl who did Millie and Star Ocean could have pulled off Farrah, because she kind of sounds like the Japanese version, and she kind of brings that high, medium, high kind of tone. I mean, her voice is high, but it's not as high as the Symphonia ones. Anyway, so that's my little mini voice acting rant. So I played that game, enjoyed it. Then 7th grade came along, and it was announced that Tales of Legendia was gonna come out in English. I'm like, oh sweet, I get to play a new Tales game, and I was excited for it. And it came out, it was good. I didn't really appreciate the music at the time, yet now it's like one of the best soundtracks for a Tales game. And its battle system I felt was kind of cool. It was sort of combo oriented. I was a little worried about how Senna would play, considering he's a fist fighter. It was sort of different from the regular Tales games, but it was a good job. Plus the skits were voiced, and the characters were casted pretty well. I think everyone did a good job. One thing that just sort of disappointed me was the fact that there was no 2-player. I remember Orphan came over the day I got the game. It's like, oh sweet, we're gonna play this awesome Tales game. It's gonna be so awesome. It's gonna be 2-player. Once I get a new character, he's gonna join in, and we're gonna have fun like we do with Symphonia and with Eternia, I think, when he played it. But I was disappointed because there was no 2-player. I thought that was dumb. That kind of sucked. I could sort of understand it nowadays though, because it was a new team working on it. It was like the friggin' team from Soul Calibur and Tekken. I mean, they probably didn't really feel comfortable with the 2-player RPG, which is understandable, because RPGs are not really 2-player oriented. I mean, anyway, and then the following summer, I got Tales of Destiny on the PlayStation from I think it was Amazon. I got that game, and it was cool. I didn't really like its battle system. I felt that it was a step under. I mean, I'd played like the newer Tales games, so I was still kind of used to that battle system. So it was sort of a step down. I was a little disappointed. I can't really complain though, because it's an older game, and plus there's a remake out now. So yeah, but I thought it was kind of how you could only play stun, and you couldn't really dash, or there was only semi-auto, because I'm more of a manual person, and you could only attack once with like a one-hit combo, which was kind of lame. But the game was still good overall. Having the Japanese voices in there from the start was kind of interesting. I didn't really know what to expect for the voices in that one. I think I just assumed that the voices were in English, and I wasn't really that big of a voice person at the time. I wanted to be a voice actor, but I didn't really know how. It was one of those things where, like, you say you want to do something, and then you just wait until you're an adult and then do it, instead of nowadays where people just do stuff now. And look at that, I was right. This video is probably going to be 20 minutes. Or I don't know, I don't remember if I've said that. I've gone through like 3 takes of this. Anyway, and so played the game. It was fun. Never really got a chance to finish it though. I finished the